Larson here at the Photobooth with the top 10 figures of the year so far, part 1. In the past, we've done this as a quarterly segment. This year, there wasn't much going on for my personal collection near the end of March, so we pushed it back a bit. Now, it's flush with all manner of action figures, but also mostly from video games and mostly from Hasbro. Here's the selection criteria for this list. Number 1, it's stuff that came out in 2019 with minor exceptions. There are some items that come out so late in the previous calendar year that they can't be considered for the best of that year, so they get rolled over into the next year, this year. Now, for instance, there are places that technically got the Kingpin Build-A-Figure wave late in 2018. There's no way for me to get it until 2019, and most likely it was supposed to be a 2019 release, so that I'm calling it a 2019 release. Same goes for Kickstarter's release and delivery dates can be subjective. For me, I got my Marauder Task Force rewards on like the last day of 2018, so they're getting rolled into 2019. 2, this is stuff that I actually purchased. I don't include gifts. I like this list to be about things that I actually took the step to spend my own money on, things that I had to have in my collection. So while I do own Siege Soundwave and Siege Megatron, both were gifted to me, and I'm not totally sure. I love them; they're great, but I'm not totally sure that I would have purchased them at full retail price otherwise. On the other hand, Bumblebee Optimus over here in the back, it was gifted to me by Hasbro, but I would have already purchased it if for myself if I had encountered it in the wild previously. So for me, that is included. Megatron and Soundwave are not. So this is a hard thing. Normally the first one of the year of these is pretty light, and like I said, we didn't do it back in March because it was so very light. I really hadn't purchased that much stuff. Yeah, I don't know. I'm being more selective these days, and it's hard to pick stuff because I do buy the stuff I like, and the things I like are pretty consistent as far as rocket packs and helmets and cool laser guns and lightsabers and skateboards and whatever else. So a lot of these figures share a lot of the same stuff in common, and I like them for the same reasons. So it's going to be tough to narrow it down, but that's the job, and that's what I'm going to do. So weird. First off, a couple quick observations for the amount of stuff that I've actually purchased, new things released in 2019 that I've actually collected. If we're just talking trends for where things are going, where's my personal collection going this year? Crazy to me that there are so many, like I already do superheroes a lot. I already do, Star Wars a lot. It is insane to me that suddenly this year Hasbro picks up Overwatch, and now I've got all these Overwatch figures. And McFarlane starts putting out these Fortnite figures. I don't play either of those games, never have, and don't intend to start. They just make for very cool action figures. And producer Greg and I have talked about how, is collecting action figures something that's dying off? Are the kids these days not getting into action figures? And I believe it was producer Greg who suggested that, collecting action figure skins, different outfits and suits for characters and whatever, like that's the new action figure collecting. So it's crazy to me that it came back around and that we're back, there's action figures that you can actually collect for this stuff. And between McFarlane and Hasbro and Jazzwares and whoever else, that seems to be a pretty lucrative business right now. I hope they're all doing well. I hope that's another revenue stream here. Hasbro added Power Rangers. Hasbro added Overwatch. I hope we see that stuff going, and I hope that McFarlane and Jazzwares, I don't have any of the 6-inch Jazzwares Fortnite figures yet, but I'll definitely be checking them out when I see them. It's great to me that there's other stuff out there besides just Avengers, Star Wars, and DC Universe stuff, which is not represented here because I didn't see anything that was interesting this year. All right, so we got to get this down to 10. There's more than 10 here right now, so I'm going to do some quick eliminations right out of the gate, stuff that I know isn't going to make it. Hasbro has done a really nice job on these Overwatch figures. That said, they're not perfect yet. They've still got some minor things they need to work out. They look gorgeous. A lot of them can't hold their accessories, and a lot of them, like this one in particular, can't hold a pose, can't do much of anything, and that's particularly disappointing. Plus, I have no real emotional attachment to those characters, so it's easy to eliminate them quick and early. Padme came out fantastic. The photo printing has really, really changed the game for all these figures, and I'd love to see the entire industry, whoever's doing any sort of movie-themed, TV-themed action figures, go in that direction of using photo printing in the future if they can develop their own technology, if it's not owned by Hasbro, but she's out. And then next, I do dig the Overwatch figures, I do dig the Fortnite figures a lot, but they're definitely not going to hit the top 10 here. Same thing, McFarlane's done a lot with articulation. Traditionally, most people like me, who'd been collecting them for a long time, since way back in the early 2000s, McFarlane was known for not having any posability whatsoever. Lots of the points of articulation were really just more about making the little statue more so than making it a posable thing. That's changed over the years, and I'm stunned by the amount of articulation. I didn't really collect much of the Halo stuff. I do have some figures now, but I'm stunned by the amount of articulation that they actually put on these Fortnite figures. That said, they don't really pose well. This guy's got 2 points of articulation in his torso, and that is about the degree of bend he's got, and that's just not okay. He's got a neck joint and a head joint, and we still can't even look up. So and good God, please stop with toe articulation. It's unnecessary. It just affects the ability for the thing to balance. So some loose joints, some wonkiness. I was shocked to see that there are actually stickers on this thing. This is a sticker. Back here, these are stickers, because some of these molds are shared between multiple figures. And it's just a way to differentiate them. That said, as cool as this dude Carbide looks, I don't think he's going to make the top 10 either, so I'm going to pull him real quick. And then Rex in the back here, same story. Just a fun action figure, but since I don't have any real attachment to the game or the character, I'm going to pull him. Black Knight, same story. Actually, I just picked him up literally today. There's a Walmart in my neighborhood here, which, if you can believe it, is actually closing. And I asked the guy at the register if they were moving or closing. He said closing, so everything in the store was 25% off, so I figured that'd be a good time to finally grab that one. He's out. We're also going to pull, back in the back here, Tron. Love you, buddy. Love Tron. Love the movie. I actually love Tron Legacy. So happy to finally see action figures like this out on the market. Diamond Select. Select? Well, these were for the Kingdom Hearts game. And now I'm actually doubting whether or not they were Select. Anyway, I know that there's another series coming out later this year, I believe. Those pictures just hit recently. Better articulation, more detail, all that stuff. So this was a nice little sort of trial, and I'm glad to see the rest of those figures coming out, because no torso articulation, no accessories, and the fact that this thing doesn't glow in the dark, whether exposed to black light or not, is a huge letdown. And I still haven't been able to find Sark anywhere, so that's all very disappointing. All right, so this should be a lot easier. I'm going to pull Superman here. He's from the Hiya Toys Injustice 2 series. This was one of those purchases that I made. I know these are more expensive figures, but and I don't even like this suit. I'm not a big fan of the game, and most of my collection is 6 inches at this point anyway. But I hadn't bought anything in a while, and I was like, God, man, I've got some money burning a hole in my pocket. I just want to grab something. So I saw this one, and I'm like, I'm always down for a Superman figure. So I grabbed him, and he's fine. Cloth cape, couple interchangeable hands. I'm going to actually probably take these rubbery shoulder pads off, and then he'll just kind of look like a Henry Cavill Superman figure, and that's cool. And it's a 3 3/4 inch Superman, so he's fine, but he's just fine. He's not top 10 fine. He's not top 10 caliber stuff here. But holy cow, I gotta whittle this down faster. Up here we've got the Marauder Task Force. This was a Kickstarter from either 2018 or 2017. I'm not totally sure. Can't remember exactly when it came out. But the whole idea was these sort of covert ops figures, which were just sort of like, CIA, guys, dogs, and then the mech suits here. All of that stuff was combined. This guy in the blue, he's not part of this. It was this figure, the dog, and then all the stuff. So you can buy any of those elements separately. I'm considering them individual pieces, but I am going to pull this, since technically this figure is not from this year. And I'm going to pull this guy because I don't think he's in the top 10. This dog might make it, though, because I'm digging that dog a lot, especially with... he doesn't have to have the gun mounted on him. He comes with a couple of different... he has 2 interchangeable heads as well. But what do we got here? 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, we still got way more than we need to eliminate. Okay, I'm going to get rid of Soldier 76 here again. Digging Overwatch. I love that Hasbro's making these. We've got butterfly articulation, which was unexpected. No toe articulation. Thank you. Big disappointment here is that this guy can't actually hold his gun without some serious modification. I think I was able to get his hand on the handle here once, and then I said, you know what, forget it. I just had to actually cut the handle apart so I could actually get it on there. And I don't like having to make those kinds of modifications for figures that I paid good money for. In the back, I'm probably... actually, I'm not sure what I'm going to do here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, we got to get rid of some more stuff. All right. I'm going to get rid of... You know, I like Mercy. She's a great looking action figure. Sort of one of the faces of that Overwatch brand. I love the wings and the translucent parts, but I am going to go ahead and eliminate her now. This Shadow Ranger here, he's going to go. I have no particular attachment, again, to, what was it called? SPD? Yeah, it was Deca Ranger in the Sentai series in Japan. Cool figure. Probably, you know... I didn't really get into the U.S. version of Power Rangers, so like Lord Zed, I'll probably grab him at some point, but I knew the two gets for me were going to be White Ranger and Shadow Ranger, just for, you know, dog-headed space cop guy, and then White Ranger is from Die Ranger, Kiba Ranger. So I knew I was going to get those two. The others I was going to have to, like, pass on. Maybe I'll get them at some point. Who knows? We'll see where the rest of the series goes. I'm not even sure. I don't even know who's in Wave 2 yet. Looking forward to that. All right. We've got... Night Thrasher. This gets hard, man. Like, you know, I'm struggling between like things that I just aesthetically dig, you know, things like Captain Deadstar here. I just aesthetically dig him. Whereas, you know, Grievous, I don't love the character, but this is just an incredibly engineered, you know, action figure. Mace Windu, not the most, you know, aesthetically interesting thing. He's not like a big robot knight, but good God, that Sam Jackson face just looks incredible. The cloth robes, everything about it is just incredibly delivered. So I'm digging that a lot. And then like the guys in the back just look cool. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, geez, I have to get rid of a lot of stuff. All right, I'm going to bail on Cortex Commander here from Super 7's Return of the Worst. He's awesome. Brain in a jar, pistol. Totally dig that guy, but I got to make some cuts somewhere here. I'm also going to cut out, I think this is Metaruder, a take on Metalder. Was one of the old metal heroes from Japan. This is from Jesse DeStasio of Toy Pizza's Action Figure of the Month Club. He did a Kickstarter for that. One of the fastest Kickstarters that has delivered and not disappointed that I've ever been a part of. There are Kickstarters from 2-3 years ago that I'm still waiting on stuff for. Jesse did not disappoint. Awesome stuff. Awesome guy. Check that out. Most of these figures I think are for sale now, but just Google Action Figure of the Month Club. Toy Pizza, Jesse DeStasio. You'll find all that stuff somewhere. So next, I'm probably gonna kill. I'm probably gonna have to kill. Let's see. Carbide's probably gonna have to go, and that's more of just an articulation issue. Not Carbide. Omega. He's going to have to go because as awesome as he looks, there are just a lot of articulation issues here, which, you know, limit the posability and what you can do with him. And I got to make some cuts somewhere. And it's always possible that you can make it back into the final top 10 at the end of the year. You know, you just play nice, be on your best behavior, and maybe you can get back in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I'm going to eliminate the dog just because it's small and it's easy to kick that one out, I guess. And then also we're going to go ahead and take out Johnny from Fortnite. You know what? If this was the glow-in-the-dark one, I still haven't had a chance to get the Walgreens exclusive glow-in-the-dark with the translucent pickaxe. So it's possible that the final list could have that character back in it in a different form. Once they've managed to appeal to my true sensibilities of what I'm looking for. 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, hey, look, we only have to eliminate one more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay. All right, so I'm going to have to... You know, I'm just gonna go for it. Reinhardt is amazing and gigantic and whatever, but for really, you know, for articulation and posability and all that stuff, there's not really much you can do with this thing, and size doesn't make up for. You know, this isn't about the highest density of or volume of plastic in a figure. So I think it's really easy to think that there's more going on there. Just because of the scale. It's so big, and so it feels more substantial. Literally, it feels more like it has more importance than it really does. I'm guessing if I was into the game and maybe, like, you know, played that character a lot, he probably would have made it to this top 10 all the way. But I don't, so he isn't. And I think that's 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, we just got to put them in order now. And then I can take a nap because this is so hard. All right. Number 10 is probably going to be Rocket Trooper. I dig him, dig his jetpack. He's everything I like about Star Wars and action figures. he's a trooper. He's got a cool helmet. He's got an orange shoulder pad. He's got a jetpack. It's all good. I'm going to put second. I'm going to put... I'm going to put... I'm going to put Captain Marvel next. Dug the movie. Dug Endgame. Dig this figure. I didn't get the variant yet. I'm hoping that those are going to get marked down at Target and I can grab her Star Force variant costume, because I hate paying $20 again for the exact same suit, even if it comes with the alternate head and stuff to make what's her face. I'm gonna put her at 9. I'm gonna put Grievous at 8, and then 7. I'm gonna go. Oh gosh. Again, so much of these things, it's like I dig them for the same reasons. I'm going to put Thrasher next. Don't underestimate the power of a skateboard, and also looking like a character that I created in 7th grade called Darkhawk. Look up our 4 minutes or less video on Darkhawk to get that whole story. I think Mace is next. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. We're just going to knock out all the Star Wars guys here. 5 is going to be Han. 4... Man, this is tough. All right, 4. 4 is probably... I haven't even seen the Bumblebee movie yet. This is just... this is pretty much... everybody else has already weighed in on this. It's like the perfect marriage of the realistic sort of Michael Bay era movie style stuff. All the bits and things and guts and things you just got to fill in to make them not look like just a big box walking around on the movie screen. The paint treatment is on this. I haven't even transformed this thing because I don't even really care that much about what it looks like in truck mode. It's just a gorgeous looking robot. I'm very pleased with how that came out. Nice way to celebrate the 35th anniversary of Transformers. I'm going to put him at 3. 4. 3 is going to be White Ranger. And then this is, oh man, it's so close here. Back in February, I was fortunate enough to be able to go to Toy Fair, New York Toy Fair. And I thought for sure that there was going to be no question about who the number one action figure of the year was going to be. And it was going to be Captain Deadstar, without a doubt. And now, you know what? I'm just not so sure anymore. This Farah figure from Overwatch has absolutely stolen my heart. Don't know anything about the character in the game. Don't care. It's just the color palette, the jetpacks, the translucent effects, the Boba Fett rocket on her arm, the Blue Falcon, the Hanna-Barbera Blue Falcon look to her. Just good, everything about it except for the, somewhat limited posability on her. She's just a gorgeous, gorgeous piece. I absolutely love her. But for now, you know what? I'm going to stick with it. I'm going to stick with my gut. I'm going to leave Captain Deadstar here, who is he is just like the epitome of fun and vintage and a modern eye and just the cool pirate skeleton flaming sword robo peg leg. Just an incredible, incredible thing. So that's going to be the list. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Those are the top 10 figures so far of 2019. We'll do this again before the end of the year for sure. Thank you for watching this and all of our videos. Hit like, hit subscribe. Check out our Patreon if you're in the position to help the channel grow. Thanks. Later.